there seems to be some reports over the last 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
DJ Smith might want to try fix Darnell Nurse. DJ Smith might be inclined to keep. The Oilers might keep Darnell Nurse. Oh my God, don't fuck this up.
You don't have to fix him.
No. If the first 7 coaches couldn't fix him, you're not fixing him.
Yeah, just let him go. And before we get into it, because just read what the first question is, I guess.
When the Oilers trade Darnell Nurse, who should they bring in to fill his spot?
If you've got some thoughts as well, let us know. But yeah, there was a few reports about that because I think he was asked directly what he thought of that because they did coach. He coached him at the World Championships. Someone put in the chat earlier.
But
he was bad at the World Championships, and DJ Smith just basically said yeah, it could be good, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, DJ Smith's not going to come to a press conference and be like, oh, Nurse? Yeah, dog shit. Yeah, he stinks. When I was in LA, we couldn't wait to get guys on the ice of Darnell Nurse. He's obviously not going to say that. Also, if we watch Darnell Nurse struggle for 2 years in his role in Edmonton and be inconsistent for 2 years in Edmonton, why would 2 weeks at the World Championships with DJ Smith cause Stan Bowman to go, you're right, 9.25 isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Keep him. It's not happening. So the question is, when the Oilers trade Darnell Nurse, who can they bring in to help fill some of the minutes? Because they're going to have, I think, a pretty decent group of 6, but I think they'll need a little bit of reinforcements.
I think so too, but I think the top 4 can be good enough because obviously it would be. So I'm living in a hypothetical as we do this, and I'm trying to finish an article by this afternoon as well. Hypothetical is the Oilers can clear at least $7 million of Nurse's cap. They don't bring in another defenseman via that trade, and they just try and address it. I'm just looking directly at free agency, to be honest. And here's a list of defensemen, because my assumption is, as I'm sure it is with many listeners as well, that Jake Wallman slides up, finds his game again, top 4 player. Should he play with Bouchard? Maybe that's another first question for another day, perhaps. Bank that one. Here are the left shot defensemen, who I'm not saying they could be options, they're just kind of the top 10 guys. So I think I'm going to split them into 3-ish groups. First group, these are all the guys AFP Analytics has higher than $4 million, so maybe we can discuss that. Mario Ferraro is the highest at $5.3 million. That's $20 million, they're saying, in projected value. Ryan Shea, 4.4, and Brett Kulak, just over 4. Any interest in any of those?
Mild on Shea and Kulak, no on Ferraro.
Because I think, too, as we go through this exercise, this is your third pair left shot defenseman. Probably don't want to be paying that guy $4+ million. So I kind of neglected all of those and said, no, thank you. This is the next group I have, and I would say this is kind of your big defenseman, I guess you could say. Defensive guys, minus one of them in the big category is Ian Cole. I wouldn't say he's a big guy. He's just a veteran defenseman. He's been around the block. Perfectly fine player. These guys make to 3 to 2.3. Jeremy Lauzon just went to Vegas. Values $3.13 million from AFP Analytics on a 3-year deal. He's 29 years old. He is very much like your glassing out kind of defenseman. Hard-nosed guy. Can take a punch. Actually, no, he can't. Misspoke. He's the one Vasily Podkolzin knocked out. Jamie Oleksiak, I know we've kind of discussed him. His projection was quite lower than I expected it to be. He was $2.95 million over 2 years.
Very surprising.
And then the other one is Logan Stanley at $2.38 million. Now, the problem I have with Logan Stanley is, while he's actually okay with the puck, his defensive game is actually pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
So I'd be pretty hard out on that one. The only guy in that group, which I'm intrigued by because of how much he's projected to make, would be a Jamie Oleksiak.
If you get Jamie Oleksiak for $2.9 million.
Yeah, but he essentially comes with no offense. Like, he just doesn't have it, which, how much do you care about that? I think one thing about Oleksiak, which is quite valuable, is he's played top 4 minutes. That's good. I wouldn't want him to in Edmonton, but if push came to shove, we know Wallman's history of injuries. You might need a guy with experience of playing top 4 kind of minutes. I think he would be good, but the one guy I'm kind of looking at here, and he's not a glamorous name, but I'm curious what you think, is Carson Soucy, someone you should look at. AFP Analytics has him at $2.15 million over 2 years, so $4.3 million total contract. He's 31 years old, played out in New York this season for the Rangers and the Islanders, was traded to the Islanders later on in the year. He's, again, just a defensive guy, but I think he has more puck skills than what an Oleksiak would have. And he's about $1 million cheaper, and he's 2 years younger. And he has basically always played in the West. He's from Viking, for people who don't know. Played for the Spruce Grove Saints, went to Minnesota Duluth, drafted by the Wild, was in the expansion draft for Seattle, and then signed to Vancouver before getting traded. So I think there would actually be a legit interest from him of playing in Edmonton, or at least out here. The other side of it, too, which just story people might remember, is when he was in New York, there was kind of an agreement, if I remember this correctly, that he was going to be traded really close by because his wife was having a baby. Is that, you remember
Correct,
that one?
yeah.
So you got traded to the Islanders. Does he want to just move back to Edmonton area, Alberta, Western Conference, just
What's
to be
his projection?
Closer? 2.15.
I'd prefer Oleksiak at 2.9. Last year, bench rates had Carson Soucy as a $1.8 million defenseman.
Okay.
Do you think
What's
if you,
bench? I've never heard of that one.
it's like a contract site analytics?
So would that project an increase in cap and stuff?
Yeah, I think if you were giving Carson Soucy $2 million, and the other part of this too, that I know you're not high on him, but I still think he has a path. If Carson Soucy and Spencer Stastny are my platoon third pairing, and Soucy's a 2-year, $2 million contract, I don't despise that idea.
No, and I don't either. And that was kind of my other option outside of if you don't get anyone in free agency. Is it that bad just to run a Stastny and Regula and Emberson bottom three rotation? Well, Stastny and Regula is a bottom pairing on that side. It's not glamorous by any means, but can you just spend that money you save on Nurse on just getting more forwards? Or the goalie, like, who knows, right?
So there's a part of it where I go, you're always going to need a D-man at the deadline. Like, you're going to go get one.
Everyone does.
So, like, yeah, roll the dice with what you have. There's another part of me that goes, if your blue line sucks, your goaltending sucks, and everything's going to unravel very, very quickly. So, like, I'm kind of on the fence with that one. But it's not like I want a veteran. I get what you're saying with the Regula, Stastny, Emerson. And if someone stuns you in training camp, what a beautiful problem to have.
It would be good to find out an easy way.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, you got Soucy, but then you got Camp and Regula, and Stastny was just better than him. Mm-hmm. I mean, great. Now we have 3 good defensemen, and Soucy's whatever. I don't know. Whatever you do with him.
Yeah.
I think looking at Soucy, I think he's a better defensive player than Oleksiak, if I have to be completely honest. I think Oleksiak's just big.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Everyday, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.